Hey there, future millionaires. Andrew Meet Rich here, and today I'm going to blow your mind with something most people will never understand. There's a massive difference between having money and building true wealth that lasts generations. Listen, your checking account can disappear overnight. Stock markets crash. Even entire currencies become worthless. Most families lose everything within just 3 generations. But here's what's crazy. Some families, like the Rockefellers, have stayed wealthy for over 150 years. The Rothschild family. They've been rich since before Napoleon was even born. So what's their secret? They understand something called stores of value. Assets that don't just keep their worth but actually grow it across decades and centuries. Today, I'm revealing 7 powerful wealth-building assets that truly wealthy people use to preserve and multiply their money forever. From the most obvious to the most surprising ones that will shock you. But here's the thing. If you want to build generational wealth, you need to start thinking differently about money right now. That's why I need you to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel immediately. Why? Because the strategies I share here could literally change your entire financial future. Even if today's topic doesn't feel super relevant, the next one could change your life. We're building a community of people who refuse to stay broke, and I want you to be part of it. So hit subscribe now, and let's dive into these wealth-building secrets. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah from Chicago. 3 years ago, she was working 60-hour weeks as a marketing manager, making decent money but living paycheck to paycheck. She had about $15,000 in savings and thought she was doing okay. Then inflation hit hard, and she watched her purchasing power shrink every single month. Sarah felt trapped. She knew she needed to do something different, but she had no idea where to start. Traditional savings accounts were paying almost nothing. Everyone around her was talking about get-rich-quick schemes and meme stocks. She was overwhelmed and scared of losing what little she had. But then Sarah made a decision that changed everything. Instead of chasing quick profits, she started learning about how truly wealthy people think about money. She discovered that rich families don't just save money, they convert it into assets that grow stronger over time. She started small, buying her first rental property with a partner. Then she diversified into dividend-paying stocks from companies people use every day. Today, Sarah owns 3 rental properties and has built a portfolio worth over $400,000. But here's the beautiful part. She's not stressed about market crashes or inflation anymore. Why? Because she learned to think like old money. She stopped trying to get rich quick and started building wealth that lasts. And that's exactly what we're going to teach you today. But first, let me ask you this. Are you ready to discover the first asset that could change your entire financial future? The first wealth-building asset is real estate. But we're not talking about your average suburban house here. We're talking about strategic property investments that generate income while you sleep. Take Bill Gates. Most people know him from Microsoft, but here's what they don't know. He quietly became the largest private farmland owner in America, controlling over 270,000 acres across 19 states. That's bigger than the entire city of Los Angeles. Now, Bill's not out there farming the land himself. This is pure strategic thinking. Real estate works as a store of value because it gives you 3 incredible benefits at once. First, it's tangible. You can touch it, use it, live on it. Second, it generates income through rent, crops, or appreciation. And third, when everything else gets more expensive, so does property. Here's the key insight. Governments can print more money, but they can't print more prime Manhattan real estate. Nobody's making any more land, and they never will. That built-in scarcity practically guarantees your wealth will be protected long-term. The wealthy don't just buy one type of property, though. They diversify across commercial real estate for steady cash flow, residential properties in prime locations for appreciation, farmland and timber for long-term resource plays, and luxury estates that hold value while providing incredible lifestyle benefits. But here's what most people miss about real estate investing, and this next point will completely change how you think about building wealth forever. The second wealth-building asset is stocks, but not the way most people think about them. When you buy stock, you're buying a slice of a company that earns money while you sleep. Some companies even pay you cash every few months just for owning them. But here's the secret. Truly wealthy people don't buy just any stocks. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. He's held companies like Coca-Cola, American Express, and Apple for decades. These aren't trending meme stocks or Silicon Valley startups. These are businesses people use every single day. Businesses that have survived recessions, inflation, even world wars. When ultra-wealthy families want to preserve wealth for generations, they buy real businesses that have already been making money for decades. They invest in industries people will always need: food, energy, technology, banking, and healthcare. The strategy is simple. If you want your money to last, put it into companies that last. The goal isn't to get rich overnight. It's to keep getting richer quietly for the rest of your life. When you do this right, you're practically guaranteed to build generational wealth. Think about it. People will always need to eat, use energy, and take care of their health. Companies that serve these basic human needs tend to survive and thrive across decades. But there's one asset that's even more powerful than real estate or stocks, and most people completely overlook it. This next one might surprise you, but it could be the most important investment you ever make. The third wealth-building asset isn't something you can hold or sell, but it might be the most powerful one we'll discuss today. We're talking about education and skills. Here's why this matters so much. Your house can burn down, your business can get shut down, your currency can collapse. But as long as you're still standing, nobody can take away what you know. When you understand how money works, how to think critically, and how to make smart financial decisions, you become truly unstoppable. But let's be honest, traditional education didn't prepare you for any of this. Nobody taught you how to manage finances, build businesses, or protect wealth across generations. This is exactly why successful people never stop learning. They read books, attend seminars, hire coaches, and constantly upgrade their knowledge. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, your ability to learn and adapt is your greatest asset. The wealthy invest heavily in their own education because they know it pays the highest returns. Think about it this way. You could lose every dollar you have, but if you understand wealth-building principles, you can rebuild it all. That's why education is the ultimate insurance policy. It's the one investment that compounds forever and can never be taken away from you. Your mind is your most valuable asset, and investing in it should be your top priority. But speaking of assets that have stood the test of time, let's talk about something that's been preserving wealth for over 5,000 years. Now let's quickly cover the four remaining wealth-building assets that complete your portfolio. First, precious metals like gold and silver have preserved wealth for over 5,000 years. They've survived every empire collapse and economic crisis. Even central banks hoard them because they're globally accepted and immune to political chaos. Second, government bonds might be boring, but they're rock solid. When everything crashes, bonds often hold steady or rise. They're backed by entire nations and provide reliable income during turbulent times. Third, fine art and collectibles work because of pure scarcity. There's only one original Picasso, and wealthy collectors like Steve Cohen have billions in art because these assets exist outside the traditional financial system and often skyrocket in value. Finally, cryptocurrency represents the newest wealth frontier. Despite volatility, Bitcoin offers something no other asset can: complete portability and independence from banks. With only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist, billionaires are adding crypto as a hedge against traditional systems. Here's the bottom line. Building lasting wealth isn't about getting rich quick. It's about thinking like old money families who've stayed wealthy for centuries. They diversify across real estate, businesses, education, precious metals, bonds, art, and digital assets. If you're serious about generational wealth, start applying these strategies today. Your future self will thank you. Hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started on your wealth building journey. And here's something that will absolutely blow your mind about how the wealthiest 1% really think about money. But that's a story for next time.